Fans First Sports Network listeners and football fans, welcome to another episode of the Call Sheet Breakdowns. This is Kevin Smith doing another one-play feature where we're going to look at one play from every playoff game in this NFL postseason. And today we profile the wild card game between the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs, won 26-7 by Kansas City in really horrendous playing conditions out there in Kansas City. 4 degrees below zero, the air temperature, the wind chill around 30 degrees below zero. Those are awful conditions for which to do anything, much less play a football game. But hey, man, you have to deal with the elements. And Kansas City did a much better job of handling those than did the Dolphins. So the one play that we're going to profile here comes from the opening drive where Kansas City took the opening kickoff. They went 69 yards in 9 plays to score. And the reason we're profiling this play is because I think it really showed a microcosm of the football game in that Kansas City was both better prepared and simply tougher than Miami. And we'll get to that at the end of the breakdown. Are Mike McDaniel's Miami Dolphins built for the postseason with their style of play and their general approach to the game? In this particular game, they were not. So is that a one-off because they had to go to a situation where the temperature was in the minus 30s, or is this just simply a fatal flaw that will doom this team when it comes to future postseasons as well? All right, so what play are we going to profile? We're going to profile an outside zone run by the Chiefs to their hard-charging running back Isaiah Pacheco that goes for 23 yards. And it's really an example of a couple of things. One, Miami just not being scheme sound. And two, the question of toughness. So on this play, you're going to see Kansas City start in an ace formation. That's a double tight formation. They got 2 tight ends across the ball and 2 wide receivers, one split on either side. And then they're going to bring Rashee Rice in motion all the way across, and he's going to reset as a slot. The interesting thing is going to be Miami's adjustment. The Dolphins want to stay too high here. At least they want to try to stay too high. But Kansas City's now gone to an unbalanced set. So watch what Miami's going to do. In order to stay too high, they're going to take their edge defender, Melvin Ingram, and walk him off. But when they do that, look at what it does to them from a gap standpoint. Watch how gap unsound Miami's about to become. So there's the shift over. Rice sets up. Melvin Ingram walks off. Again, the Dolphins worried obviously about Kansas City's passing game. They want to stay too high, so they keep these 2 safeties high, and they walk Ingram off. But look at the problem this creates. They have nobody. They have no defender in the C gap right here or the D gap outside of tight end Travis Kelce. They are so gap unsound here that they've got 2 uncovered gaps in the box. Obviously, that's inviting trouble. And as you're going to see, Kansas City's going to have a perfectly called play for this. They're going to run an outside zone scheme to Isaiah Pacheco, working off that left end to exploit those open gaps that Miami has left. So we'll run the play through and then we'll scheme it up for you. Here comes Pacheco, outside zone. Travis Kelce at this point is looking for somebody to block. I mean, they're so gap unsound, Miami is, that Travis Kelce doesn't have anybody to block. Here it is one more time through. Rashee Rice motions through. We'll just give you an idea of what they're looking to do from a scheme perspective, right? This is just a straight up reach play. Kelce's going to reach here. We're going to reach and try to chip up there. We're going to reach here. Everybody's reaching to the play side, right? And I mean, it's a scheme where you're reaching and combo blocking with a lineman adjacent to you to try to chip up to next level defenders. It's a full flow play, so you can expect Miami to flow to the football. Miami actually makes things more difficult on themselves by bringing the linebacker here on an A-gap stunt. So not only are they short in terms of the number of guys that they have to the play side, but they lose their primary flow defender. There's nobody to flow over the top because they lose him up inside here on this stunt. So again, one more time all the way through. There's the stunt coming inside. Creed Humphrey picks him up and washes him out. Pacheco actually cuts inside that stunt, and now he's off into the secondary. If you look at it from the end zone view, you get a really good appreciation for how unsound Miami's structure is. So Rice has already motioned over, And now the Dolphins are set to play with, again, man, two unfilled gaps to the play side, right? Nobody here, no 5-tech, no 9-tech. That is unsound at every level of football. And now this backer is going to stunt in here, and you're going to have the 3-tech be really the only on-ball defender to the play side. So obviously, as we look at the scheme and you look at what Kansas City's trying to do, this is going to be a really easy reach block. And now you're going to have Travis Kelce just kind of looking for guys to block. Humphrey's going to do a really nice job of taking care of the stunt. Everybody's going to wind up reaching over, again, man, just kind of reaching play side, and Pacheco's off. Humphrey's going to wind up washing the backer, and it's going to force a cut up the field. But that's a pretty easy cut for Pacheco, and as Pacheco always does, he'll make tough yards after contact. He's a hard charging running back. Now he's into the secondary. One cut and go. I love his downhill running style. Cut. I coached against Isaiah Pacheco when he was a high school player at Vineland High School in southern New Jersey. He ran for about 150 yards against us and scored 3 touchdowns, and it looked just like that. 16-year-old Isaiah Pacheco looked a lot like 24-year-old Isaiah Pacheco. But the other element in this play is the following, right? If we go back to the first view, right? Let's look at the effort that the Dolphins are making, because being unsound from a scheme standpoint is one thing, but simply not wanting to hit and play football, man, that's another, right? So you start with the 3-tech. I don't think that this is a great effort getting off the football. Watch the safeties. Are the safeties coming up and really doing their best to fill, right? And make contact with Isaiah Pacheco? Is Melvin Ingram right here doing a great job forcing off the block and then falling back inside to make a play, right? Watch these 4 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. And tell me if these guys are playing January football, playing postseason football, right? Flying to the ball, understanding that the season's on the line, playing their hearts out. How would you grade the effort? Come on, man, right? Watch the safeties. Your safeties are supposed to be your run fitters, right? They're supposed to be the guys that fit up. Ingram's got to set an edge, right? Ingram here, he's got to set an edge, okay? We got to fill a hard and aggressive. We got to get downhill to the football. None of that's happening here. None of that is happening, right? We'll go back and run it one more time from the jump. Miami just is not getting to the football here with a sense of urgency, right? With a sense of, hey, let's set a tone in this game. The tone that they're establishing is it's friggin' cold out here, and I don't know how much contact I want. This effort by the backside safety is especially terrible. The front side safety kind of goes out of his way to avoid contact, right? But he's got a big lineman, climbing in his face. Watch the backside safety. He should be screaming laterally across the field at Pacheco. And that backside safety wants nothing to do with contact. He's, going out of his way to avoid contact. So really, when you think about it, it's fair to ask the question, are the Miami Dolphins tough enough when they got to go into a hostile environment, get out of the comfortable confines of South Florida, go into a hostile environment? Are they going to be tough enough, the way they're currently constructed, the way they play football right now, to win January football games? It's a fair question to ask, because they weren't tough enough at home 2 weeks ago against Buffalo, and they certainly weren't tough enough to win in Kansas City. All right, that's our one-play breakdown for the Chiefs-Dolphins wild card game. All right, next up, right, we will profile the shocking Dallas-Green Bay game. Man, that was a contest, I think, that even fans who thought that Green Bay might win didn't see that result coming. So that's up next. This is Kevin Smith. These are call sheet breakdowns, one play that defines each NFL playoff game. Take care.